Hello students, welcome you for the topic asynchronous sequential circuit. We know that sequential circuits are a combinational circuit and a feedback memory element. So in asynchronous sequential circuit design, we are going to find out how do we apply asynchronous sequential circuit design and what are the steps involved in finding out the circuit diagram and what is the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous sequential circuits. So in asynchronous sequential circuit, the system performs without the clock pulse. So it is based on a memory concept introduced in the feedback element. The memory can be either a delay element or it can be using a latches. So latches are nothing but flip-flop with unclocked information. A changes is produced in the output with respect to the input variable under the steady state condition. Asynchronous circuits are very complicated to design than the synchronous, but the operational speed is faster. It occupies lower power consumption as the number of devices involved in the system is very much lesser. So ideally on the practical condition, asynchronous circuits has a vital role in the commercial market than the synchronous sequential design. So before knowing about the design procedure, we'll see how the block diagram looks in. So this is how we represent a asynchronous logical block diagram. We have input variable X, output Y. The feedback element is provided by the delay network. The input to the delay network feedback element, we call it as excitation variable, or in other words, it's next state. The input to the delay is excitation variable. The output from the delay network, which will provide a feedback to the combinational circuit, we'll designate it by small y, which is nothing but called as secondary variable or present state condition. So there is no clock pulse involved in the system. When the excitation variable capital Y is equal to the secondary variable small y, we assume that the circuit is in stable state, steady state. We call it as a stable steady state. Steady state, so that this means that the circuit is stable. When the circuit is stable, whatever changes we produce in the input variable, we try to take the output. Whenever this is not equal, whenever this is not equal, we assume that it is unstable, so there is no output obtained. There is no output obtained. And the output is going to be the containment of the previous condition. So this is how we design a asynchronous circuit. So we have information called as steady state, or we call it as a stable condition, or we call it as an unstable condition. Stable condition, we know that input produces a changes, output also changed. In unstable condition, there is no output. It will depend on the previous output. Okay. So what are the different types of asynchronization circuit? Basically, depending upon the memory element used in the feedback network, we classify into two types. If we are going to use only the delay element, delays are nothing but the closed loop system, direct closed loop, we call that circuit as fundamental mode. If we are going to use a pulse width, that is nothing but we are going to use latches, unclocked flip-flops, and there are two types of latches, SR and D. If you are going to use any one of the latches, then that particular operational mode is called as pulse mode. So you can design the circuit either under fundamental method or in pulse mode method. So in fundamental method, only one input change at that time is produced after a stable state condition. It is a widely common design. Whereas pulse mode is one more input can change because it is a latch. Therefore, one more input can change after the stable state also. So to study about the design procedure, we need to know how the flow of diagram is required in order to design a asynchronous circuit. So the important 4 steps what we need to follow, we call it as design procedure involved in the asynchronous sequential circuit. A problem statement is given to you, and this problem statement contains how does the flow happens in the circuit. So each and every word is quite clear, it should be quite clear, and it should be quite confident enough to move. Every item says about how does the flow of information occurs. With that particular word statement, we'll try to convert it in terms of a flow diagram. And this flow diagram is represented with respect to initial input and output values. This flow diagram will help us to develop a primitive flow table. So primitive flow tables are nothing but a table which consists of the variables which defines a steady state condition. Once the flow table is obtained, we try to analyze if there are any redundant steady state condition occurring. So we go for the merger diagram. From the merger diagram, we can develop a transition table which will make the values to be converted from variable into binary segments. We use the K-map technique to develop a state equation. And with the state equation, we call it as a synthesis equation here. From the synthesis equation, we can draw the logical circuit design required for the problem statement. So these are the 4 different steps we need to know when we try to think about the design part of a asynchronous sequential circuit. And always make sure that the nomenclature followed in this steady state condition, as I told you, stable state conditions are always denoted by a variable and it should be encircled. This is steady stable condition. Okay. If it is an unstable state, we just mark only the variable. There is no encircled way. So this is how we represent from the flow table itself. If you have an encircled one, you understand that it is a steady stable achieved condition. So we'll discuss now. We'll take one problem, we try to analyze the problem. So the problem statement, I told you the first is the problem statement. Clearly study each and every word is quite important for us. The problem statement given, you're going to use a fundamental mode. Yes, fundamental mode application. Therefore, it is made up of a delay element in the feedback network. It's a closed direct delay. Inputs are IN1 and IN2. So we have how many inputs? 2 inputs. 2 inputs. And 1 output. 1 output. And these 3 are the conditions given which says about how does we have the flow diagram to be represented. Okay. So the 3 conditions says that second input is 1. First input will change from 0 to 1. What is the output at that moment? Second condition is first input is 1. Second input will change from 0 to 1 alternatively. Then the output is also 1. Third one, second input will maintain as 1. First input will change from 1 to 0, reverse. It is from higher level, it will change to lower level. At that moment, output changes to 0. So you need to find out the flow first. We need to find out the flow. So the flow is represented for the 3 conditions. How do we represent the flow? So we'll start anything with 0, 0. initially anything, if it is circuit is switched on, means it starts with 0 0 condition. Okay, now you can have this flow diagram represented in two ways. You're going to have the second input. Okay, second input is changed to 1. The first input can retain 0 or it can retain 1, like this you can go. Okay, the next condition is, you can have in the second condition, you take it, first input is made as 1, second input can be either 0, second input A can be either 1. So if it is maintained 0 to 1, if it is moving from 0 to 1, the output changes to 1. Similarly, if it is moving from 0 to 1, the output changes to 1. Okay, this is how we represent the conditions. I am converting this condition in terms of a flow diagram. So this flow diagram will represent how does your equation, how to write a primitive flow table. That's what is going to be mentioned. Similarly, when the ln2 is maintained as 1, ln2 is maintained as 1. Correct, in this condition ln2 is maintained as 1. Here, no. This is cross now. Here the ln2 is maintained as 1. The in1 will change from 1 to 0. If in1, the first input is changing from 1 to 0. So you can see here, it is changing from 1 to 0. So 0, in2 is maintaining 1. At that moment, the output is 0. So this is one more condition. So you have initial condition 1, second condition, third condition. So now the condition says that this is one state, and this is producing the another state, and this is producing the another condition, another condition, another condition, another condition. So we have the flow diagram to be discussed on 5 different possibilities occurring in the system. So this is what is called as flow diagram, and we try to convert this in terms of a table. We call it as a primitive table. Now each state is being assigned with one variable. So if I say 0 0, I don't say it as 0 0. In primitive flow table, I try to convert in terms of a variable A, B, C, like that for each and every state. So this is how we have the transitions I told you. This is what we have discussed, the 3 conditions. 3 conditions. It can move from 1 0 to 1 1, 1 1 to 1 0, 0 1 to 0 1. So these are the conditions taken from the problem statement. So the primitive flow tables are made up of, you can see the conditions. Okay. So this is how the primitive flow table occurs from the flow diagram. You can find out from here. You have possible 8 combinations to occur. So A will go to A itself, and it is encircled with, you can see this condition. A will go to A itself at 0 0 at first state, and it is a stable condition. Whereas in second state, you can go A will go to A, but it is not stable. So whenever it is stable only, you will produce an output from the fundamental circuit. So A will go to B for 0 1. Whereas if you come for 1 1, the state changing is from 0 to 1 1, which means that 2 change of state is not allowed. So we call it as an undefined variable or a don't care condition, and it is always denoted by dash dash. You don't know what is the condition, what value it may go, we don't know, because 2 bit change is not allowed in a asynchronous sequential circuit. So the next one is C state. Similarly, you can find out second row, A, B is going to B itself. So it is stable condition. 0 can pass to 1 1, but it cannot go to 1 0. So because from 0 1 to 1 0 is 2 bit change, therefore dash dash. Similarly, if you come for third row, it is 0 1 condition change. It cannot move from 1 0 to 0 1. Okay. Similarly, 1 1 to 1 0 0, it's not allowed. This is not allowed. All these conditions are not allowed. Whenever it is not allowed, you are going to denote it by dash dash. It is an undefined variable, or we can call it as an don't care condition. This is how we form a primitive float table. For a detailed understanding, how do we give a how do we denote a B, C, D? My previous video tutorials are available where I've given a solved problem. So you can go and watch and find out how do we do it from a flow table, from a flow diagram. How do we assign a state and how do we convert that state into a primitive flow table. So after this you can find out from here. See the condition of 1, 2, 3. I told you after primitive flow table we have to next go for the merger diagram. So merger diagrams are nothing but it will help us to identify if any redundant cases are there. If any redundant cases are there, you have to reduce the number of states. So here you can find out A. It's common for all. Here B. If you have ES X hyphen, it is a don't care. Therefore, it can occupy B also. Under that assumption, all are equal. Here E, all are equal. C, all are equal. Therefore, the first three can be merged together. 1, 2, 3 is merged together. And you can convert into a single state 1. Similarly, 4, check it out, 4 and 5. You cannot merge. All are, this is different, this is different. These two are different. Therefore, you cannot merge. Therefore, this is second state, this is third state. And similarly, come to 6, 7, 8, G, H, E, F. All are equal. If it is all are equal, you can merge 6, 7, 8 as one state and we call the state as 4. Therefore, the total 8 states is reduced to 4 states and we call this as a new merger diagram. We call this as a new merger diagram. See here, I merged the states. This is my final states. 1, 2, 3 is merged into 1, 4 and 5 is 2 and 3, 6, 7, 8 is merged into 4. So now I'm going to draw the merger diagram. So 1 to 2 is connected. See here, 1 to 2 is connected, 2 to 3 is connected, 3 to 1 is connected. Whereas 1 to 4 is not. And similarly 2 to 5. This you can take this diagram, you can draw. This is the merger diagram. You can draw it using the primitive flow table. Please draw it from the primitive flow table. So 2 to 5 is connected, 5 to 6 is connected. Again 6, 7, 8 is formed as a one triangle. Now find out how many triangles are available. Now find out how many. This 1, 2, 3 is one triangle. The closed triangles you need to find out. The triangle is 1, 2, 3. The next triangle which is closed is 6, 7, 8. Next triangle is 6, 7, 8. We call this as a compatible pairs. We call this as a compatible pairs. So this is the merged state table. I told you we can come out with 4 states and these are the merged state table. In this merged table you assume that you will have the values only from A, B, C, D. 4 because 4 states. It can be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. This is how I'm going to define. So the remaining E, F, G will be converted accordingly to any 4 states. This is the merged diagram. How to do this merged table diagram and how to reallocate D, E, F in terms of A, B, C, D. I have given one more tutorial sessions on my channel which will talk about the asynchronous sequential design solved problem. So I have assigned the states. I told you how to assign the state. So after you assign the state, you're going to rewrite this in terms of a transition table. So transition tables are nothing but converting a variable A in terms of a state condition into a binary value. So wherever you have A, B, C, D, replace it with the binary values. Okay. So now you have 0, 0, 0. So which means A comma 0. A is steady state. A is steady state. A is steady state. Here C is steady state. Here D is steady state. Here B is steady state. So this is T steady state, B steady state, D steady state. Wherever you have the steady state, steady state, steady state, steady state. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different steady state condition you will have the output to be obtained in the circuit. For all the remaining thing, you don't have output, it will follow the previous output hold in the memory element. So this is how we come out with the transition table. Now we need to get a last step, synthesize equation or a state equation. Then only we can draw the diagram. So to come out with the state equation, we are going to convert this table in terms of a K-map. You have binary values, so definitely you can convert this in terms of a K-map to develop a synthesis equation. Okay, so first this is three columns you have it. So each first column will represent in one table, second column will represent the next table, third column will represent the next table. So three different equations we are going to write it. Wherever you have undefined variable dash dash, you take it as don't care condition X. So mark your values. See here. I mark the values. Wherever you have, take it as undefined variable, two undefined variable, therefore XX. All the others are marked in. Now combine. So equation 1. So you will have how many equations in this? This is one mapping. This is another mapping, another mapping. So 4 equations you will have it. This is the equation. Similarly, second one. Second one, two undefined variables and you have marked it. This is the second equation. Second column you have derived. The last column is the output column. So you have derived the output column equation. So from this 3 equation you can draw the circuit. Let me draw one output. One I am showing it, the remaining you can draw. So we have two elements, Y1 and Y2. Okay, this is made up of AND gate. Y1, Y2. Then we have IN1, IN2. This is input 1, input element 2. Okay, and we have one more which is obtained from the feedback element network. Okay, this is given to OR gate. This is given to OR gate, and you have one more circuit which is having Y2 and IN1. This is given to OR gate. And this is the feedback element which we obtained from Y1, small y1. Okay, this is a feedback. And this is the final output segments OUT. This is how we draw a sequential circuit from the synthesized state equation. This says you the asynchronous circuits are purely made up of, there is no clock pulse. There is no clock input. See here, only the feedback element small y. The feedback element is as a direct delay element, so it is working under fundamental mode. There is no latches and all. Therefore, it is a direct closed loop feedback network. And it is made up of a combinational circuit and or gates. So this is how we design a circuit from a problem statement. A diagram, a problem is given, you are converting that into a flow diagram. From flow diagram, we convert into a primitive flow table. Primitive flow table, we'll try to find out the redundant condition and convert into a merged diagram, merged state table. From the merged state table, you are clearly defined whether it is a stable condition, unstable condition, along with the input and output values. The variables are now converted in terms of a state value, binary values, and we call it as a transition table. And from transition table, depending upon the number of columns, we'll have the K-map to be introduced, which will help us to produce a synthesized state equation. And from the state equation, finally, we can draw the circuit diagram, which clearly states that you can design an ASL circuit. So the applications, it is very much easier to do it without any clock pulse, and definitely it is a smaller circuit than the synchronous sequential circuit, so which means that it uses only less components. Advantages and disadvantages have been given. Advantages: asynchronous circuits are very much easier to design, very much difficult to design, but it costs very much lesser. It is faster lower power. Under these two only, almost all your VLSI chips are functioning under ASL design format, because you need to have a lower power consumption and you should have lesser number of circuits involved, which will produce faster speed to the processor. So this ASL circuits are easily used in the manufacturing process of a chip. It is capable of adapting to any changes with respect to the environment as well as in the voltage levels. Disadvantage of the circuit is only one thing: it's quite complicated to design. Design is really difficult unless you understand the concept and how do we make a merged state diagram. We will go into the design part of the circuit. So the design is very much complex, which includes several data paths and feedback network. So you have to be confident enough to work out with the more number of problems where will help us into the detailed architecture scheme of a chip design process. Thank you.